exposure doesn't look right. Guess it looks fine. Alright. Alright, it's day 4. Day 4, and we'll talk about days 1 through 4. Just a brief catching you up that day 1 and 2, it rained. It was a torrential downpour.
Don't miss shoes wet.
We got 2 outfits soaked to the bone. But we did go to Acro Circus on day 1, which was like, we learned acrobatics from a couch surfing host.
Who was in the circus?
Who's in the circus, and her name was Anna Cruz. And we got set up at our Airbnb. That was fun. And got some coffees, and
our Airbnb host is really funny.
Talk louder. We gotta talk louder.
I don't know. Our Airbnb host was really funny.
Talk to the camera. Don't talk to me. Anyway, yeah, our Airbnb hosts were really nice.
Super sweet.
Yeah.
They like watching Fox News every morning, and they like Trump.
You gotta talk louder. Like, you're not loud enough.
Can you stop? You're being annoying.
Well, there's no point in filming if we can't hear you.
They'll be able to hear me. You can subtitle me.
And his wife kept feeding us chocolate, which was fun. Yeah, so day 2, we drove up the north coast, and it was still raining for most of the time, but it was still pretty. And then we went to the Auckland Zoo, where we
got to hold a baby wallaby.
We met McKaylee, who's my friend, or our friend Hannah Feltus. It's her best
so
friend.
So irrelevant that you don't need to know.
Well, anyway, she is the zoo hospital coordinator, and basically what she does is she kind of coordinates. She does all the research on the animals between.
The hospital.
She does more than that, though.
It's in the title.
She does more than that. Anyway, yeah, we got to hold a baby wallaby and watch it hop around, but we can't post anything about that because, or any pictures on social media because,
again, very irrelevant.
They haven't announced the baby, the Joey wallaby.
So people here basically don't wear shoes, like
shoes.
In The Hobbit, so I'm pretty sure that's where they drew their inspiration from. I watched a 10-year-old boy learning how to bike down like a mountainside with no shoes on. It was really classic.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting.
And we saw that when we drove out to Piha Beach, which is on the west side of the North Island, and it was really cool. There's a rock out there.
There's no rules about no shoes, no service, because they're in the shops.
I feel like 25% of people are not wearing shoes.
No,
here.
I wouldn't say 25,
okay,
but
like
it's a good amount.
7%.
See it a lot.
That we've seen, but yeah, we went out there and we flew our drone at Piha Beach, which is a beautiful area, and there's a rock called Lion's Rock that we didn't climb, but got some good footage of. And we were driving on really windy roads, and this was Hannah's first time driving.
And we went down like this tiny road.
Oh, we took a wrong turn, and there were no real lanes, and we got honked at for...
Well, basically there was like only one lane, but you had to share it, and you were going around these corners that were super windy, and so I was like laying on my hoard every time we went around a corner so people would know we were coming, but I got shamed for like being in the middle of the road. Yeah.
Trying to be safe.
It was bizarre. And then our host was like, oh yeah, we used to get drunk and go down those roads. It's like,
okay.
That's why there's such a small population here, because everybody dies previous to adulthood. Another thing about driving is it's really funny to watch like foreigners like us come, and they're obviously like learning how to use the cars on the wrong side of the road, because every time they go to turn, they turn on their windshield wipers.
Because the windshield wipers are on the left side and your turn signal's on the right side. So it's
very-
swapped, so you're
You
used
can
to
tell.
doing this.
You wave to the people who with their windshield wipers. You're like, hey, yeah.
Ah, me too, yeah. Yesterday was day 3 and we got lost. Well, we didn't really get lost, but we couldn't take the coastal route that I wanted to because of the flooding from days 1 and 2. So
Yeah, we saw some houses that were pretty flooded out.
yeah, some crazy flooding
Like
going on.
flatlands.
But we did see some cool mountains that were very New Zealand, very Lord of the Rings-ish.
She doesn't know what she's talking about. They were sort of Lord of the Rings-ish.
But they were really cool, and all the foliage here is super cool. There's like palm trees and like weird looking pine trees, and it's like tropic plants, and like the plants are a whole variety of like tropics. What you would think is like a north state versus a south state are all mixed together.
Today we basically just went to the beach,
We woke up really early and we went to the beach and caught the sunrise.
and then we slept for 2 more hours.
And we slept for like 4 more hours. But
We want to go to the hot pools tonight, which are like the hot springs. Maybe.
we might do that. We explored Tauranga and Mount Maunganui, and we had breakfast downtown Tauranga, and I learned that my tablet is basically useless with the DJI.
It's all really irrelevant. Anyway, so we're having a lot of fun. Our hosts here are very, very nice, and they have a beautiful home. And you can walk to the beach. And thus far, all the Airbnbs have been like
Really nice.
really nice. And I'm a germaphobe, so it's really like really top-notch comment for me to say that I can sleep every night like without thinking about it.
Yeah.
No. I don't like your talking points. She doesn't have good talking. She's
Oh.
just babbling. This is not
No,
fun.
I think this is funny that we helped some old ladies that were locals put money in the parking meter today. It was
Whatever.
very cute.
Does.
Oh, and I think it's interesting that when you
They have it in LA. That's not that interesting.
the pedestrians having their own like
It's just
crossing
a
wherever.
four-way crosswalk. Yeah,
Well, I don't know this, but you can
they
like
have that everywhere.
so you press the button to walk, and instead of like the signal going when traffic lights are green for other lanes, it's just like one big pedestrian light. So like the cars don't go, and all the people just cross like this. And it's just, I just have never seen that
It's
before.
not really that interesting. New Zealand's a lot like America. It is.
I don't think so.
I mean, the terrain's different, but America's so big, so it's pretty. We haven't, we're only day 3, but we haven't been like too culture shocked.
I mean, the culture
pretty
shock
nice
isn't
people.
crazy because
Aggressive drivers, but nice
they
people.
speak English.
Generalizing a whole country.
Yeah, there are aggressive drivers here.
Yeah, like LA though.
I feel like we're shamed for being safe most of the time.
Yeah, we get shamed a lot
For
while
being
we're driving.
safe.
I'm like, that's pretty standard safety practice we're being shamed for right now.
Yeah.
Also, when you're walking on a sidewalk, you're supposed to be on the same side you would drive on. So I keep walking into people because it's like the opposite of what you would do in America.
Oh yeah, like you're supposed to walk on the left, but we're used to walking on the right. It's like same with traffic rules, so
We're just bad
people
at
are
driving.
walking into us. Oh, we went to Cathedral Cove yesterday, which was really pretty, and Hannah was forced to hike.
She was like, oh, it's just a few minute walk. And it was like a 45-minute hike both ways.
We drove like 2.5
And I was in
hours to
my
get there, and I wasn't
sandals.
about to skip out on a half-hour hike.
It was just a cave.
It was a cool cave. It's a famous cave.
It was boring.
I got the picture I wanted. Everyone said it was worth it. I thought it would have been worth it if it was like a day trip where it wasn't 2.5 hours there and 2.5 hours to Tauranga, but it was worth it if it was like your thing to do.
It's really boring. Okay.
Anyway,
We're done. Bye. We'll talk to you tomorrow.